Today we're going to speak about effective training programs. The purpose of this training is to allow us to understand what needs have come up within our call center. The training that we've had has been inadequate at best. We have not completed a standardized process for this in the past, and we need to look at this going forward. The biggest scenario that we have that we'll try to address today is the inconsistent training process that we've seen in our past. Going forward, I would like to see this progress more standardized and be a stronger collaboration between management and the project team. For my introduction, as Nadler states in his book, Designing Training Programs, no matter how accurate the assessment, how good the design, or how perfectly attuned everything is to your purpose, if there is a significant deficiency in the knowledge and skills of the person or persons up front, only a miracle will help you avoid certain disaster. We have had several new hires coming in, and training has been slowly developing. Let's continue to stay on course and communicate any needs that may arise. The plan that will be laid out in presentation to explain what we can do and how we can do this. So let's get started by discussing who is on the team to handle this. So on this training team is Sean Claiborne, Jessica Evansky, Alberto Rodriguez, Curtis Wong, and Rick Duvall. For the first part of this module or training program, we'll actually set it up in 3 different modules. So module 1 will create several steps that the person that's coming in will be able to understand and see what we do as a whole. Basically, this is just an initial first step of them getting their feet wet and understanding what the program looks like and what the job actually entails. So basically, understanding what we do, which includes a department tour and an actual facility tour. Then we'll have a Network Operations Center overview. And this overview will include our Remedy First Steps, which is an overview of the Remedy Essentials, which is the program that we utilize day to day. Concepts of call center etiquette, which is very key in what we do every day. We take about 500 calls a day, so this is very important within our facility. And then site access training, which is something they'll be doing day in, day out until this program is completed, until they move to the next step. So site access training is the last step of Module 1, and this complete module should take about 1 week of training time until completion. So the training modules for each section need to follow a distinct path. Due to the length of training in our facility, if we took time to train someone in all aspects of the training, it would take them 2 months to learn. So we need to break this up, and the way we've done this, laid out in these 3 modules, I think will allow us to complete a training with someone in a quicker amount of time, but will also allow them to gain the knowledge and not so much lose knowledge as they try to go along learning new stuff. So if you read in Bramley's book, Evaluating Training Effectiveness, he states, well, it must be certain to correctly stage a training program in order to be most effective. If a trainee becomes weighed down by too much information before it is allowed to absorb, then he will ultimately fail. We will then approach our training in this way. We then go into functions of customer support. Now this is part of Module 2. Once they've completed that first group of training, they will then move on. We'll slowly stage them into the next group of training. So functions of customer support, which includes lighting inspections and new installs. Remedy familiarization, which gives them the beginning to take alert stage. They will start to take one component of our job which they would not have seen in that first week. So understanding clear and concise communications. This is important because on a daily basis we talk to hundreds of people. So we need to have clear and concise communications. And then lastly on this, a call center etiquette immersion. This is where they will do a deep dive, if you will, on call center etiquette and how to speak, how to approach someone on the phone, how to conduct yourself in a day-to-day basis. This expected time of delivery on this module is 2 weeks training until completion. And so for the last module, Module 3, we look at remedy immersion. This is where they get the complete steps of all of Remedy's assets. So you're looking at FCC data and all that goes into that. The proper notation within Remedy, understanding how to speak clearly and concisely within the note so that the guy in the field, when he receives that note, is able to understand what exactly you're trying to tell him. So canceling and issuing notams, this is very important, understanding how to do that, and you're going to be doing this on a daily basis. And then also, lastly, we want them to have an understanding of the NOC here. Basically what we're saying is there's other things within our call center. We want you to understand what all things do. We want you to be able to see that there are other departments that do different things that so that you can learn and you can see and maybe move on one day, maybe move into a different role, a different position. So here we would say understanding the NOC. We want you to understand what customer support means, what quality and project teams do, what technical support does, the inbox and the training part of this. You know, you may show an adeptness at training personnel, so we want you to be able to move into helping us with understanding what training can be done and how that can be bettered. And then the service department, we want you to move into that and understand what they do, and maybe one day move into that department. The expected time of this training will take 2 weeks until completion, and then Module 3 will be complete, and you will have all aspects of all training within the NOC. So in conclusion, as Albert states in his book, Service Learning Reader, Reflections and Perspectives on Service, he says training is about distinguishing between the points that have worked for those that have gone before us versus those failures that we have seen in society and cultures that have come and gone. This statement shows us the importance of looking at the successes and failures of ones that have already blazed the path that we now follow. So if we follow this process and break out the training in different steps and allow the people that come in, the new hires, to do a weekly training versus a complete overview of everything within 2 months, I believe there will be a better chance for success. It will also help our guys to become more informed quicker. They'll get up to speed a lot faster. They'll help the group out a lot faster. I think we'll also be able to accomplish something in a few weeks that we've tried to in the past over the course of 2 months. And that concludes my effective training program.